Greetings this sunny days, 305 degrees podcast, where it's always hot in here. And it's not only hot on the podcast, it's hot down here in Miami. So I just want to talk to you from inmate 348-71004. That's my prison inmate number. And although I'm not in prison, I'm a free man. I'm striving to be the best that I can be. I give back to my community. I am an executive member of the Circle of Brotherhood, but it's my duty to let our young men know that the prison system is not a place for them to be. So I want to talk about an incident that happened between me and a correctional officer that could possibly have caused me my life, and it could have caused him his life. And the reason why I bring it up, because I was a model prisoner, a religious prisoner, a respectful man in prison, but incidences and circumstances can change on you. And if you're not conscious and if you're not thinking, you could get caught up. And so I had a 35-year prison sentence that may seem like it's a lot of time, but it's not compared to people in prison that got 4 or 5 life sentences or 300-something years in prison, you know. So my 35 years in prison could have easily turned into a life sentence, right? So I think back to USP Atlanta in that year in 1997. It was one of the most violent prisons in the United States. And me and my brother, we found ourselves there, and I know it's not a place that we should not have been, because we're not some young guys that been through the juvenile system, that been through U-Haul, that been through gladiator school. So we didn't too much know about prison, but because of the indictment in our case, they sent us to one of the worst prisons in the United States. And so in USP Atlanta is 24-hour controlled movement. What do I mean by that? So in 24 hours, they want to know where each inmate is located at every time. And so they will have what we call a 10-minute control movement. So they will have those 10 minutes between every hour so an inmate can get from one location to the next location. And so because it was controlled movement, we had a pass system. So in the unit, the officer, they had to write us a pass to get to that destination, to go to another destination. And when we got to that destination, they had to sign the pass the time that we was there. And the time that we left, they signed the pass and gave it back to us so we can go back to our location. So one day, for some reason, I left the unit. I forgot to get my pass from the law library. And so I walked back to the unit, and one veteran CO and a couple of rookies, they were standing in front of the unit. And so the officer asked me, "Campbell, where your pass?" So I searched my pockets, like, "Oh man, I forgot." I said, "I forgot it at the law library." So he told me, "You stupid motherfucker, go back and get that pass, you dumb motherfucker." And so I was stuck for a minute. So I turned around, walking back to get the pass, and all I could hear is his voice echoing in my head, how he was talking to me. And like, I'm a religious man, and I never disrespect this guy. And so something told me to spin around on him. So I say, "No, let me go get the pass." And like, I'm emotional. No, I feel disrespected and violated. And I had to keep in mind that these black COs in the USP Atlanta back at that time, man, they was beating inmates. It was rough, because the COs, they had just took back over the prison, because once upon a time, the inmates took over the prison, and the COs, they was kind of scared, right? And so they brought in a new warden that brought a new atmosphere, called itself taking back control of the prison. So anyway, I scurried back and got my pass so I could make it within the 10-minute move to get back to the CO. And so in my mind, I'm finna commit to something that I don't know if I'm gonna get out of, but I just felt violated. And so when I got back in front of the two COs. I handed him my pass, and he grabbed it, and I snatched it back. And so, like, I'm nervous. Like, I don't know where this gonna go from here, you know. So I'm like, hey, man, look here, man. I said, man, I never disrespect you, man. Never. You know, anytime you tell me to do something, I do it. Not only you, I respect you, the staff, and other inmates here, man. I said, man, if you ever talk to me like that again, man, I'm gonna make you kill me, man. For real, I'm gonna make you kill me. And so, I don't know. I believe it was God that was with me, you know, because one thing about USP Atlanta, you know, they have what they call hitting the panic button on the CO's walkie-talkie. And so when they hit the panic button, all the staff members, they'll run to that location where the panic button was mashed, right? And then they have another button which called the body alarm. And so when they hit the body alarm, you will see COs that you haven't seen walking the compound. All of them might be 7 foot, they might be 200, 300 pounds, and they'll come. So I had all this on my mind when I was talking to this CO, you know. And so I just committed. I was all in, you know. But by the grace of God, he told me, Campbell, go ahead, man, give me the pass, and go ahead on about your business. And so, man, when I walked away from him in relief, you know, I went to the cell, man, and pulled my prayer rug out and began to pray to God and thank God for helping me to get through a situation that I probably wouldn't have got through with. So, hey, this Sunny Days 305 Degrees podcast, hey, if any of our parents, if you have any children that's going astray, that need somebody to talk to, I'm a mentor for them. You know, if you have any children that's in the system, that's on their way in the system, that need somebody to talk to, that need somebody to write them, I'm available for that. So once again, this Sunny Days 305 Degrees podcast, I'm your host, Brother Albert. Hey, I'll see you on part 2. Peace.